For today's story, we cover an upcoming criminal trial involving a New York socialite whose friends say that she's just the most horrible person ever and definitely deserves everything that's coming to her. Hello everyone, and welcome to Uncivil Law, where we learn through the misfortunes of others. As always, I hope you'll enjoy this legal education, and today will be the day I earn your subscription. For today's coverage, we are covering an ongoing criminal case involving a New York socialite. This New York socialite pushed a woman, and the woman died. She is currently facing first-degree manslaughter charges. Now, I have to be honest, I think that maybe first degree is an overcharge based on my understanding of what's going on. That being said, however, I think second degree looks very, very promising based on my understanding of the facts record. But that's a little bit neither here nor there. What really does matter is that this woman is apparently just a horrible, horrible person. All the people who know her just say she's an entitled little brat who definitely is just horrible and definitely has everything bad coming to her. Mommy and daddy have paid for some big name lawyers to represent her, so she's well represented, but we're going to cover this case a little bit, so let's get started with this. Former classmates say the socialite accused in a fatal shoving of a New York City voice coach is pure trouble. You gotta love it when your friends describe you this way. Lauren Pienza, a 26-year-old woman accused of shoving an elderly former vocal coach to her death, was blasted by her former high school and college mates Friday, including one that said that karma is a biatch about the accused killer. Karma is a biatch, Trey Seamers, a former classmate, posted on Facebook about Pazenzia. She told the deans I called her a fire crotch and I got suspended for it. I didn't even know what that meant at the time until they told me I said it to her. That's hilarious. The fiery socialite and scion of Cesspool Dynasty has been hit with manslaughter and assault charges in the March 10th death of Barbara Meyer Guster, 87, beloved former Broadway vocal coach whom she had called a biatch. Her A-list attorney, Arthur Aradell, claimed to the judge that pushing someone who's on the sidewalk isn't the same as pushing someone in front of a cliff or pushing someone in front of a moving train, and has accused the man DA of overcharging his client. Well, I'll give him partial credit, right? I mean, there is a bit of a difference, right? Especially as it goes to your mental state in some respects, right? Pushing someone over a cliff reflects a much different mental state than pushing someone on a sidewalk. Now, of course, if they get hurt, you're ultimately going to be culpable for that. But how much culpable is going to depend on your mental state. So yeah, pushing someone over a cliff or pushing someone in front of a car may necessitate higher charges. But then again, she's not being charged with murder. She's being charged with first-degree manslaughter, which may or may not be able to be proven. But second-degree manslaughter looks pretty promising based on what we understand about the fact pattern here. So here is a booking photo of the woman in charge, Pazenzia. This is the woman being charged with the shoving of the, octogenarian and killing the octogenarian on the sidewalk. So, good times. Here is a picture of her in her glory days as a socialite, just enjoying the beach and being an opulent little person who thinks she's better than everybody. Her former classmates have come out and painted a damning picture of the Long Island native, who is a former events coordinator for a high-end French furniture company. An events coordinator for a furniture company. What kind of events, I wonder? What angered me most was seeing that her lawyer said she was overcharged and is a good and moral person. She is not. I knew her very well at school, and she was pure trouble. So this does seem to be a bit of something that's happening in the making, not really surprising to people. Here's a picture of her being hauled out of central booking with her hair not particularly looking very great that day. Some of her former classmates at Ward Melville High School took to social media to express shock that she's now facing manslaughter and assault charges. That girl was in my 11th grade science class. There are only two sides of the story, but shaking my head crazy. Totally shocked and absolutely not surprised at all at the same time, a former classmate wrote. Another Ward Melville alumni, Aline Buscella, said Parenza always seemed quiet and nice, and frequently had a smile on her face. Who knows what happened? She definitely didn't murder her on purpose, so it's a shitty situation for sure. No excuses for shoving an elderly person, but then again, who knows? Only time will tell when she tells her story. Her attorneys then contacted police, and Piacenza turned herself in on Tuesday. Piacenza's former classmates told Daily Mail the suspect has had no empathy and was prone to speaking to people in a derogatory manner, including fat people and deaf people. That sounds possible. The outlet obtained from video that shows Piacenza mocking deaf people. In the clip, she's seen contorting her face and speaking in a disordered voice. The person said was her way of making fun of the hearing impaired. How nice. Another source also told the Daily Mail that Piacenza was manipulative with her fiancé. He was reserved and very kind and seemed annoyed with her when I met him and fearful of her. She was a very manipulative person. The ex-classmate added, I witnessed her behave recklessly. She would throw herself in front of cars on the street. She was a complete wild card. So it seems like she has a bit of a history here with her classmates, so good times had by all. Thus, that brings us to the end of this article about this socialite who's on trial for manslaughter. First-degree manslaughter at the moment. Second degree looks a little bit more promising as a legal theory. But yeah, she pushed this woman on the sidewalk. She fell. She died. So some sort of criminal charge is coming her way. And yeah, so we'll see how it progresses. But it seems like a lot of her former classmates are quite happy it couldn't have happened to a nicer person. And that for a moment brings us to the end of the discussion of this case. Thank you so much for being part of the Uncivil Law family. If you enjoyed this legal education content, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. We appreciate your continuing support. Until later, my friends, cheers and goodbye.